Yo, yo. All right, here we go. You can hear me now, right? Yo. All your settings will update accordingly. You should be able to hear me now. All right, now you can hear me. Now my fucking screen. What the fuck? This shit acting dumb, yo. Air camera. Oh, I fucked it up.
Keep ITG. Keep ITG.
Yo. What the fuck, yo? Yo. Still echo. All right, can you hear me now? Echo should be gone now. Let me see. All right, we good now. God damn. Man, appreciate y'all for rocking it out, man. Shit. Are we good now, right? Golly, yo. And I don't like. That's why I don't like fucking with these apps. It should be acting crazy sometimes. But basically, what I was saying, we got a lot to talk about. Hold up. All right. Now I better keep eye on them damn duds, or they be disappearing on me and shit. But man, let's get started, man. We got Karmelo Anthony. I think everybody preyed on them people, yo. Everybody. That's just sad, yo. Like I feel bad for that family, yo. And I'm not one of the ones that's going to dive into their finances and how they spent the money. And I mean, regardless of how they spent the money, yo, they paid $75K for the lawyer throne. Whatever they did outside of that, that's what they did. You feel me? Because more than likely, y'all, they needed the money. You gotta figure they was getting death threats. They probably had to move 15 motherfucking times. So the money had to be used for more than just, Carmelo Anthony defense. But I think the people that was around them to make sure that they was going to falter. You feel me? So yeah, we going. Nancy Grace did an interview with Metcalf, Austin Metcalf father. We're gonna check that out. Rainwater did an interview with the Dominique Alexander dude. We're gonna check that out. We got Hernandez Govan. Yeah, yo. Yeah, it was. They put a lot of plants. They were surrounded by plants. I think it was at a point with them where they couldn't. They ain't know real from fake. They ain't know who was really with them or who was against them. And when you never been in a situation where you basically they had a whole bunch of leeches and vultures around them. And I don't think this is a family that grew up around leeches and vultures. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't think they knew how to distinguish between what was real, what was fake. But I think that was the plan. But we're gonna get to that last. Because we got some more shit to talk about. Adrian Broner has been going out sad. Extremely sad. As expected. He's going to end up catching a case, y'all. That's what's going to end up happening with Adrian Broner. For all the people that laugh at it. He's going to end up catching a case. Keep these young girls around him. Like it's destined to fail. It's destined to fail. So for all the people thinking, oh no, he getting money now, he back. Yeah, all right. If that's what you call getting back, or you got to get back by doing that, I'd rather be down, man. Because all that's going to do is push him down forever before it's all said and done. But, I got some shit on Instagram. Oh, Hernandez Govan. Yo, so Hernandez Govan, before we get to that, this nigga got locked up on state charges. Come home, get his ass whipped. Then get locked up on Fed charges. God damn. Man, you talk about bad luck. God damn, shorty. If I know the street niggas in Memphis, them niggas better be careful. He told once, he gonna tell again. That boy ain't trying to do a day in jail. So the feds just picked him up. The feds just picked up Hernandez Govan on them same charges. He must was doing this shit to a woman that was out of Memphis, out of state. He must have did this online. Because I don't know how the stalking charge turned federal outside of she wasn't from Memphis. So look. He's a dumbass. Be careful though, y'all, if you're in Memphis. You're going down. You are going down. Fuck around with Hernandez Govan. He must have some information that he wasn't trying to let go of. So he locked this dumbass back up. He be out though. He ain't going to prison. You ain't gotta worry about that. You not gotta worry about that. That boy is not going to prison. He won't find
Well, man acquitted in the killing of Memphis rapper. Police arrested Hernandez Govan last week on state charges, stalking, harassment. Investigators say Govan sent her a message that read, "The National Guard can't save you. They can't be there forever." Govan was indicted in the Young Dolph murder case, but a jury acquitted him last year. Back then, Govan said he was going to move out of Memphis.
Yeah, but what did I tell y'all though about rats? A lot of rats, man. Like everybody keep trying to paint it out like it's some street shit, and I keep telling niggas, nah, it's way bigger than the streets. There's a lot of flawed character that goes into the same nigga that'll tell. I'll be the same nigga out here harassing and beating on women.
Metcalf was expected in court today. Thanks for joining us for the news at 4:30. I'm Alex Coleman.
And I'm April Thompson. Hernandez Govan was arrested last week on stalking and harassment charges. Braille Brown said in court today and has more on why Govan did not appear.
Hernandez Govan did not appear in court today due to being held in federal custody, but your news leader did learn that he will appear in court on June 18th.
Count one. We, the jury, find defendant Hernandez Govan not guilty in count one of the indictment, not guilty in count two.
Less than a year after Hernandez Govan was found not guilty of first-degree murder and conspiracy charges in the death of Memphis rapper Young Dolph, the 47-year-old is back on the Shelby County court docket after being arrested last Thursday. Court documents your news leader obtained with phone calls and sent text messages, including threats to have someone shoot up her home. She also accused him of threatening to post explicit videos of her own $4,000, which he told the judge he'd be able to pay. Today's court appearance was supposed to give us our first look at how prosecutors plan.
Y'all always sabotage my motherfucking lives. Oh. Got my shit moving out slow and shit. Yeah, they gonna let them out though. They probably just, this is what they do to their Fed agents. I told y'all, yo, when you work with the feds, you work with the police, they gonna lock your ass up a few times. Remember they was doing it to Woody. Lock him up, let him go, lock him up again. It's just a way to show that, we got control over you. Don't ever get too comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Don't ever think that you you can't be reached or we ain't got tabs on you. That's the wrong move. That's the wrong thought. So they're gonna show you. So they're gonna have these times where they lock his dumb ass up, put some charges on him. Hold on. All right, we should be good now. We should be good now.
And to move forward with the new case, as your news leader expected to see Govan appear before the judge. We learned he remains in federal custody at this time and will appear before the judge on Thursday. At this time, we do not yet have word on who will represent Govan in court, but as soon as we find out, we'll bring that information to you.
Of course, your news leader will be right there in the courtroom, and we'll keep you updated both on air and online. Reporting for your news leader, Braille Brown, WAG, News Channel 3.
Man, if y'all think he was snitching before, wait till he come back out. You know when he got off on the dog shit? No, he ain't saying nothing yet. He ready to take that shit to a whole new level. Watch what I tell you. He ready to take telling and snitching to a whole new level once he get back out that bitch. Trust and believe. That's the only reason they grabbed him. You know, outside, even though he did commit crimes. But they ain't had to charge him federally. That's why see, that's the thing that be tripping me out with these niggas. Y'all, you sit back and work for these people, and look how they do you. Look how they do you, man. People don't give a fuck about you, man. Dumbass. You dumbass niggas. So look at this shit, y'all. Look. the Kanye West hate train is still moving. Florida senator says, yay, concert in Florida must be canceled because it will hurt the feelings of Jewish people. Hey, yo, they is bitching Kanye, and I love it. I told you I love it. That's what the fuck he get. That's what he get, y'all. Every time I see something like this, I smile. I ain't gonna lie. I smile before I do anything else. I say this is the fuck he get for apologizing to them people after you said all these things about him. No, ain't no apology. Not when you made people think you was serious. You feel me? Not when you had people agreeing with you. Like man, salute to Kanye for standing on something. Now he thought he was gonna be able to apologize his way in. Matter of fact, they made him think he could. That's the funny part about it. The funny part about this whole Kanye West thing is they made him think that all you had to do was apologize and we'll let you back in. and no, they're not letting him back in. They've been canceling everything he did. Look.
Reject the hate that Kanye West pushes. If we don't stop this concert, we're telling everyone that anti-Semitism is okay. No, it's not okay. As long as you make some money. And somebody said that to me, oh, if they cancel, they'll lose money. So what? You made a bad decision, fix your bad decision. This puts an even greater target on our Jewish community, more than anything Kanye West could say or do himself. If they allow this, then what's the next event? And if they're not held accountable, if you're Jewish in this city, in this state, how do you feel? You feel like a second-class citizen that people don't give a damn. If we don't...
Yeah, that's fucked up, yo. That's fucked up, yo. Hey, yo, when he apologized to the rabbi, why they ain't sound like a... Why the rabbi ain't sound like a back call to the rest of them? Like, all right, y'all, he cool again. He cool. Hey, yo, he cool again, y'all. He came up here, he held my hand. He apologized to me in English, even though I don't know English. But we're gonna release the shackles off of him. Yo, he gotta feel stupid. That man put out a whole opinion piece, then apologized to him, and he still ain't letting him work. So, Adrian Broner, man. Adrian motherfucking Broner. They had Amber Rose on stream with Ray J. And just check, like, yo, this is, like, I don't, yo, like, my man Dave Army hit me like, yo, I ain't gonna lie, I'm fucking with the AB and Dame. Like, yo, this shit is buffoonery, yo. Like, there's no way, like, this is not funny to me. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm different. But this shit right here is just clown activity, yo. Like, I don't laugh at clown activity.
I'm fine. That shit ain't nothing I'm not used to, but...
No, it's just still, it's just still respect.
I mean, I know he's belligerent, so I'm not taking it like, you know what I'm saying?
But
like, I'm not gonna cry over it. He's just being a weirdo right now. What you want me to do? He needs to sober up and chill the fuck out. I didn't say nothing to that man at all.
Let's go calm him down. Can't leave the homies behind. We don't leave soldiers. We'll leave soldiers behind.
I'm not staying in this car. If he's in this car, I'll go to the other car.
No. We can put AB in the Maybach.
Alright.
You can roll with D. You okay, AB?
That shit crazy, yo. Yo, this shit is unbelievable. Check yo out.
She's here to be. I ain't gonna lie. She's on a vibe. Y'all can hide the rest of her. This shoulder is mine. I've never seen a shoulder that looked like this, bro. I never.
Yo, my man going out bad, yo. Yo, he's starting to show also the reason why he went broke. He don't know how to act with money. So he don't know how to act sober. I mean, he don't know how to act with money. He don't know how to act broke. Shorty just don't. He got a lot of learning to do, yo. And to me, that shit not funny, yo. When you realize that the nigga 35 years old. Yeah, for real. Like, this shit is disgusting. Check him out.
That's the way, nigga, chill out, bro. Man, I ain't never scared of that's the way. Man, shut your bitch up, bro. For real, bro. Let's go upstairs, bro. The fuck was Kyle was talking about? Let's go upstairs, nigga. You keep bringing up Kyle. Now, man. Let's go upstairs, bro. Let's go upstairs. Let's go upstairs, bro. Stop showing you something. I ain't trying to show up, man. Chill out, nigga. Keep bringing up Kyle. Yeah, nigga. Kyle. That's what Kyle was talking about. Kyle.
So Kai Sinat told them in order to get in Streamer University, they gotta tighten up. All this drinking and shit they doing, he ain't rocking with it. And this is what I was talking about when I said that, you know, everybody like, yo, AB doing good. I'm like, yo, but he's not. Because he's making money, but it's opportunity and his morals and everything else is going down. Only thing going up right now is his funds, but his image, his morals, his integrity, all of that is falling fast. It's like the stock market. That shit plummeting.
I'm gonna get in regardless, nigga. I'm gonna get my shit regardless, man. See what I'm saying? You see what he said? I'm gonna get in regardless, nigga. Fuck you, nigga. I'm gonna get in regardless. I'm gonna get in regardless. Nigga, you bigger than the program, nigga. Yeah. Who think they bigger than the program? I'm bigger than the program, gang. You hear me? Fuck the program, gang. I never cared about the program. That's your problem, nigga. I am the problem. Look it up. I've been the problem. Since I came out, bro. I've been the problem,
I don't know, y'all. That shit not funny to me. That shit's not funny to me. Look.
Hey, dang.
Finesse 2 times still don't get it. Yo keep thinking these niggas is his friends. Yo still don't get it. Finesse. Ain't no friends in this shit, y'all. So, Finesse 2 times thinks that since he went over there to Dane the Great platform, that they gonna all of a sudden come on his platform and support what he do. Like, yo, this is not the streets. I had to realize that. Like, well, these people ain't moving off no integrity, y'all. It's all about what they can gain from you. That's it. That's all. It's like, yo, how many times for Finesse 2 times? Like, how many times you gotta learn the same lesson? I thought he'd have learned it dealing with Mob Ties and Jay Princeton now. But he ain't figured it out yet. Check him out.
AAB. A-Ding. AAB. What's up with y'all, cuz? Y'all with a nigga. Man, you know what I'm saying? I came to the Yemi. The little shit happened. I see y'all making y'all memes and shit, saying y'all and shit, but damn, AB, me and you had connect like some real street nigga did that right there. What's up? I ain't no nigga. Hey, ding.
So, yo, I realized with Adrian Broner, he gets phony once he get money. He get money and get phony. Because what I showed y'all the other day that he did to his man was disgusting. This shit right here. Hold on. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, nigga, my baby mama just died in the car wreck, bro. I gotta get the fuck out of here, man. I should never came down, bro.
Oh, fuck.
I should never came down, bro. This shit would never happen. I should never fucking came down, bro. I gotta go home, bro.
Yeah, I agree.
Too much fucking party, bro. Too much fucking party. Bro, that girl, man, she was with me every day, bro. I should never came. I should never left her, man. Oh, fuck.
I'm on the way, gang.
Alright, buddy.
Well, at least you don't have no more baby mama trouble.
Man, come on, man. Come on, man.
Look, when nobody feeling that shit. Like, yo, come on, bro. Like, you, man. These niggas weird. These niggas is weird as a motherfucker. I can't fuck with it. So did y'all see this? Hold on. Before we get to that. Did y'all see what Nicki
Minaj was talking a bit about not me. Sorry. That, but she was saying how kids growing up today with social media that are even if they're not gonna be in the industry, like how she feels for them because they have to deal with like things being so fake and like trying to sort through life or whatever. And she's actually taking accountability for some of her music being responsible for that. Let's take a listen.
Do you think the music scene is very demonically organized?
It sure isn't driving people to God because it focuses on the worship of material things. I've played a part in it, of course. It's not healthy over time. It's not healthy mentally. What does that do to the self-esteem of these young people? I guess I feel a sense of responsibility too a lot. A lot of the stuff that I was rapping about, I didn't, I was so young too. I didn't realize that there are young people listening to it and how it could probably make them make certain decisions that wasn't, really thought out. Now, if I could do it all over again, I would have changed a lot of things that I said. I just don't like the idea of thinking that these people will now grow up wanting to change themselves as opposed to loving themselves. That's what I think is very demonic about the industry as a whole, is that it makes people feel that they're never enough.
That is very true.
Well, I think that question was too broad. And when you ask a broad question, you're going to get a broad answer because the reality is the whole of the music industry and all music does not drive people to do bad things. Does gospel music drive people to do bad things? There's been great R&B records. There's been great hip hop records that cause people to do positive things. So it's like that's a very broad question to say, is the music industry demonic? Because by the way, the industry is demonic. The industry is only giving people what the artists give them. So if the artists are going in the studio making a certain type of music, guess what the industry going to do? They're going to sell it. But that's what consumers are buying.
No, Charlamagne. Don't act like it go that way. See this the fake shit I be talking about. Don't act like that's how it go. It's not the artist putting out the music. It's the fucking labels putting out the music. The labels have the power to veto or reject any song that they don't want out. The artist knows what these labels want. So you can't be a hip hop artist and put out a motherfucking a gospel record and that shit get approved. See, this the shit that be pissing me off, when it come down to certain people. Like, why you gonna sit back and act like the labels don't play a role in this shit, bro? So, this is the argument that a lot of conservatives or anti-black or anti-hip-hop people say. Well, they the ones rapping it. But Charlamagne knows better than that. So instead of holding the labels accountable, Charlamagne, which you know just as well as I know, just as well as most of us know, that they are the ones that decide what goes on the album versus what don't. So why you gonna get on this platform, knowing Nicki Minaj just said some real shit and try to diminish her, try to discredit her, knowing good and goddamn well what she said was 100% facts. But this is the same person that they want to try to make it seem like he's so pro-black and he's for the black community and he's the guy to go to. Man, get the fuck out of here. That's why I don't be fucking with none of these niggas. Because they can't keep it real. And it shows when they flip-flop. Like, you can't say this, but then be a spokesman for the black community, knowing the role that hip-hop plays in everything involving the black community.
The industry only push certain type of music. That record labels only want artists to make certain types of music because certain types of music was selling.
They push what sells.
Like back to the whole,
No. They don't push what sells. Yeah, I showed y'all in that video that I did when I showed y'all that the same people that run the hip hop industry is the same people that run the prison industry. That these labels own multiple channels. And what I mean by that is a record label might own a magazine, also own a network, TV show network, also owns some of these blogs, podcasts. So if they want the message to get out there, they can get it out there. All they got to do is run the artist through all their channels. Run a song through all their channels. Inflate the numbers a little bit. Because people got a herd mentality. Nobody wants to be left out. So if a song gets pushed hard enough, it's going to break through. It's going to break through. Which means, they can make whatever they want to sell. If they want it to sell. All they got to do is put the marketing dollars behind it.
You came out with gangster rap. They wanted more and more artists allegedly did to sound like that because it sold better. Artists like Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul or even Chance the Rapper might not have sold what these other rappers do. That was what people said.
You're right, but why do we act like over the last 15 years, probably, the 3 biggest rappers in the world ain't on that?
No, Kendrick
ain't on that.
J. Cole not.
J. Cole ain't on that. Drake? No, Drake ain't on that. Drake ain't on that. Drake cosplays that, but he got a couple songs.
But people that are trying to come up in the same vein as them, like that aren't on that, would say that they have a harder time because they aren't on that.
The reason I disagree is because the generation before that is what set the table for them. Who was the biggest artist before them? Kanye West. Kanye wasn't on that either. Kanye made it to where all of these guys can exist. The Drakes, the Kendricks, the Coles, the Wale's, the Big Sean, the Chance the Rapper. When we talk about majority of the rappers over the last 15 years that have had tremendous success, they really not on that BS. And by the way, I'm not saying that what Nikki said is wrong. I just don't like when people generalize.
You is saying what she said was wrong. If you're not saying what she said was wrong, why are you making this whole argument? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you're not saying what she said was wrong, there was no need to, for a rebuttal. Why are you provide if what she said is right? Why are you trying to provide an alternative narrative if you know what she said isn't wrong? Like, these man,
a whole thing. Because there's nuance to it. Have there been music that has driven people to do bad things? Absolutely. Influenced people to do bad things? Absolutely, 100%. But man, over the last 15 years, things have changed a lot. A lot. And even in the 90s, we had a lot of socially conscious music. Okay?
I think things have changed because the barrier to entry, like you can go around people that would typically say, I'm not looking for that. And you can go straight to the masses and try and figure it out on your own if you want to. Get a big enough audience and then figure out how to get a machine behind you. So. Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was just to hear her take accountability about that type of stuff. I think we throw a lot on women too. Like what they talk about, what they can, how they need to talk, like stuff like that. So to hear her say that, I thought.
I wish she would have dug deeper because it sounded to me also too like she was talking about, women changing themselves, right? Because of the industry. So was she talking about like surgeries or what is she? Is she talking about her own aesthetic?
That's what I thought that she was.
She's talking about perception. She's talking about morals. She's talking about principles. You know what the fuck she talking about? See, one of the biggest, I don't know why. You still got people that will deny the effect that influencers, entertainers have on a culture or have just on people in general. You still got people that deny that shit. Oh man, you talking crazy, man. You still got people that deny that shit in 2026, yo, after we seen, after we done heard several people admit it. We see it day to day. But they still sit back and act like it's like, yo, you know what she talking about, yo. She talking about everything. BBLs included. She talking about whole culture. How now most women, they don't even see, like, they don't even see nothing wrong with being a hoe. You know, they used to be shameful. You know, when the female was living crazy, that was something he had to keep. You know, she tried to keep that shit under wraps. You know, because she'll get shamed for it. That's not the world we living in now. You got women that's openly proclaiming to be hoes. Like, you feel me? Like, they loud and proud about this shit. You heard me? The fuck she talking about? Man, I ain't know what she talking about, nigga. Bluffing ass nigga. Alright, so look at y'all, man, Uncle Charlie.
It's called content. I gotta make content over for the Karmelo fans. Then I gotta make content over for the Metcalf fans. Then I gotta make comment for the hate racist hard people. So I gotta make something for everybody. He don't know what he wanna do. I make something for everybody. I say fuck Karmelo. I say fuck Jeff. I say fuck. I make something for everybody. So I got fans. So guess what? My views go up.
Yo, this shit is crazy, y'all. Like, yo, this nigga really, I can't believe this nigga, y'all. Oh, he gotta be CIA. Got to be. I can't believe a black man is talking like this. You feel me? Like, it's almost unbelievable that a black man close to 50 is talking like this. Yeah, we is. We definitely in a time where the suckers win. This nigga said it's all content. A real situation, y'all. We talking about race in America. We talking about the justice system and how there's two forms of justice. There's black justice and there's white justice. And this is a guy who came out talking about, I created laws, you know, for juveniles, and I fought for this and fought for that. Is now saying that I gotta make content for both sides. Who the fuck is telling him this?
My engagement go up. Now if I just stay over here with Karmelo, I'm gonna lose people. I'm gonna lose people. Aiden Ross hate Charles, he's a murderer. I can't have Aiden mad at me, that's my nephew. Then I got my other people over up. Man, you ride with the white folk, man. Listen, the white man came in peace and love at first. I was with him at first. You with the white man at first, yeah. I came and got with the nigga. I satisfied everybody. Now it's time for me to make money off everybody I'm satisfied. Don't get mad at me. I'm finna have some free Karmelo shirts. I got the watermelon felon shirts for the Metcalf people. I'm finna have free Karmelo, no touchdown, no peace. I'm finna have that shirt for the poor niggas that want to beg for something. I got something for everybody. I swear to God I do. Everybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Everybody got it. Anybody can get it. I got it for everybody. Anybody can get it, nigga. Anybody can get it, nigga. Anybody can get it. Everybody that got it so far. Everybody that got it. Karmelo.
Yo, this is crazy, y'all. Look, he's his clown ass. This shit is wild, y'all. Damn.
So Charles White pretend he came on defense of Karmelo Anthony just for money and clout.
You did care about Karmelo for a little bit.
I did care about Karmelo because I went with the Metcalf family first.
But you went back to Karmelo. Come on, why you don't be wanting to show your soft side?
I did care about Karmelo. Karmelo daddy paid me $3,000 to meet with me.
And that was a blessing. And
There
you
was
did it.
no blessing.
Yes, because you got the story out there.
$3,000 and he was begging for GoFundMe.
Listen, you got the story out there.
Them people said $600,000 for his son. He spent $3,000 on me to buy me.
Listen, you still got the story out there.
Well, he paid me, but I got the Metcalf story first. The story was already out there. The story was already out there when Karmelo dad came for pay me that money. Karmelo family paid me to be on their side. I didn't just jump on their side. I was paid.
I know, but listen.
So
we know you to listen. We know.
Once you can't pay me no more.
People keep trying to psych themselves out. He's a fuckboy, whoever this lady is. Stop trying to psych yourself out to make this guy be something that he ain't. He's a fuckboy. Like, what the fuck? Yo, that's what he is. He's nothing more, nothing less. He's not an advocate. He's not a spokesman. He don't say nothing real. He's just a fucking snitch, man. He told on his friends. Then years later said they was never his friend. Like, nobody has been around him longer than 7-8 months. He falls out with everybody. Like, why is people so in shock? Like, lady, listen to the nigga. Listen to him. This is who he is. Stop trying to make him be something. See, y'all, I'm going to tell you what it is, and I told y'all this before. Nobody likes to be fooled. You understand what I'm saying? Similar to, like, in relationships. You know, a lot of times people will psych themselves out. They'd be in a bad situation and psych themselves out just because they're used to the situation. And they don't want to admit that, damn, I picked wrong. You understand what I'm saying? That's where a lot of people was at with Charleston White. They don't want to admit I picked wrong. They don't want to, because, you know, a lot of people think highly of their decision making, highly of themselves, and it takes a certain level of accountability to be like, damn, yo, this nigga tricked me. Yo, fooled me. I thought he was solid. I thought he was 100. Now you've been believing this person, spreading his message to other people, turning them into believers, only to find out that he fucking flawed. I'm muted. No, I'm not, y'all. No, I'm not. Only to find out that he's flawed. And people just can't, like, yo, shorty, he's a clown. He tricked you. You took the bait. You fell for it. You thought he was real. He ain't. Stop trying to make excuses for this nigga. Stop trying to make excuses for this nigga. No excuses need to be made.
Jump ship.
We know, listen, we know you're going to be the bad guy. We know you're going to be the bad guy.
It's like, this is the same guy that really posted this meme of Karmelo.
All right, now, did y'all see this shit? Look at this. Man accused of running OnlyFans trafficking house. What's his name? Nikita something. Let's check yo out. TYUKLO.
You want to run faster, jump higher, be more explosive?
Trafficking suspect. Y'all heard about y'all?
New at noon, the man accused of running.
Hit that like button, y'all. Subscribe to the channel if you new. We ready to get into Austin Metcalf father.
Outside of the Bellevue mansion just appeared in King County Court.
Certain return information into count one, human trafficking with the second degree.
21-year-old Nikita Takalo pleaded not guilty to 6 charges of human trafficking, money laundering, and leading organized crime. Court records describe women being recruited through social media, personal connections, and other channels with promises of income and online success. Investigators allege some women who tried to leave were told they could be in breach of contract and face consequences. The case also includes allegations of intimidation and fear.
I've known about this, especially Nikita, for so long. I've known since I was, about 16 years old that he was running some sort of sex trafficking ring. One of my friends who's also in the OnlyFans industry, she warned me about them and told me that, they take money from the girls, they have them sign these contracts or NDAs that keep them locked in to this OnlyFans house, this OnlyFans business, and they can't get out.
Takalo remains in King County Jail on $5 million bail. He is due back in court on June 30th.
His bail higher than the dude that shot at the motherfucking that shot at that black family cookout. That's crazy. I guess your trafficking white girls is a crime. Shooting at a family of black people ain't that ain't really a crime in America. But you traffic some white girls, boy, it don't matter what you is. Your ass going to jail, boy. Fast. 5 men out of bond. Nigga, pay it.
Custody tonight being held on $5 million bail tied to alleged sex trafficking at a Bellevue mansion. Police say young women were being forced to make sexual online content at parties packed with hundreds of people. Here's Karmelo's Claire Weber with what happened in court today.
Cars would pour in here like water. A sea of cars. All young people.
People living near this house in Bellevue say massive parties have been happening every Friday and Saturday night here since new tenants moved in last fall.
The girls would get out of the cars and be dressed very scantily. No coat.
5'9", sir.
Bellevue police arrested this 21-year-old man after several female victims reported being forced to make sexually explicit content for money.
They were essentially coerced into being sex trafficked at this residence. They were made to perform on sites such as OnlyFans and other platforms.
Prosecutors say the man made hundreds of thousands of dollars over a multi-year investigation, which revealed women's claims that he beat and strangled them repeatedly.
He spit on them, of course, again over his head, when he conjured them and then made them fall across the floor like a dog.
Dang.
The victims working with police are between 18 and 22 years old. Most of whom they say ended up at these parties through social media posts advertising a fun time.
For these young ladies, this was anything but fun. This was a nightmare for them.
In court, the man's defense attorney argued $5 million bail was too high.
So this was set up as a legitimate business. We have a lot of investigation to do on our end. These are allegations made at this position.
We tried knocking on the door, but nobody answered. Police say officers saw multiple parents drop off underage high school students at these parties too.
Our investigators think it's quite likely that there are additional victims out there.
Police have seized evidence of luxury cars from the property, and they believe more arrests and charges are likely to follow. In Bellevue, Claire Weber, KOMO News.
Mom, Austin Metcalf father. Mayweather. I think we can officially say he's broke now, man. I think it's official. $200,000 theft. That's a serious felony. That is a serious felony. Look, faces up to 24 million, 24 years. And he supposed to been buying it. Or some shit like that. Oh no, this different. Matter of fact, check for 200. Who the fuck? Breakfast Club gonna copyright me. Fuck it. Hit that like button, y'all. So I'm just gonna read the article because I can't find no by video I want to watch. Hey y'all, get in the cage. Bro, sick and tired of your motherfucking ass, bro. Why the fuck y'all can't never? That's you. That's why you can't never get out the fucking cage. Doing dumb shit all the time. Doing something fucking stupid, bro. My fucking nerves, man. Alright, so the title was called Boxing Legend Floyd Mayweather. fuck? Oh, shit. Facing 2 felony charges, could go to jail. So it's like, for years, Floyd Mayweather built his reputation around one nickname, money. Now the undefeated boxing icon finds himself dealing with a legal battle that could have serious consequences. According to Nevada court records, Mayweather is facing 2 felony charges stemming from alleged purchase of a $200,000 watch in December 2024. The charges include felony theft involving property valued at more than $100,000 and passing a check with intent to defraud. If convicted, the consequences could be significant. Under Nevada law, the fraud-related charge carries a potential sentence of 1 to 4 years in prison, along with fines and restitution. The felony theft charge is even more serious, carrying a possible prison sentence ranging from 1 to 20 years. Yo, Floyd is out here wilding. Floyd is out here wilding, y'all. For real. I don't know what's wrong with him. So this is what happens, yo, when you try to keep up a lifestyle. You know what I mean? Yo, a lot of people go broke that way. A lot of people go broke that way in the streets. Yo, once the money slow up, you got to, and it's not an easy thing to do. So I don't want to make it seem like, because I didn't went broke like this. You feel me? You have a nice run. You make however much money you making daily or weekly, and you spending as you making it. But what happens is, a lot of times, once the money slow up, niggas still spending how the money was coming in at one point, and it ain't coming in like that. So you got to dial back a little bit. Floyd Mayweather didn't do that. It will ultimately hurt him is this whole image of money made, spending $1 million a day and shit like that. Like, yo, it's no way that was sustainable, bro. It's no way that was sustainable. So Floyd Mayweather ultimately became a victim of the image he portrayed. So now he in a situation where you scamming. You can't afford to live how you was living, but you done dragged on everybody. You know what I mean? Talk cold cash shit to the black community. Cold cash, you ain't back nothing that none of us did when it was time to unite. Now you're in a situation where you done burnt all these bridges, you stunning on everybody, and now he going down, and I don't even give a fuck. Like, typically in this situation, I'd be like, damn, sure, that's fucked up, yo. Like, you fucked that money up like that. But with him, fuck, yo. I put him and Kanye in the same boat. Like, man, fuck you niggas, man. If you're not standing, man, you ain't standing with the people. You ain't standing at all, in my opinion. You feel me? So the minute I see you ain't standing with the people, yo, and when you can't stand no more, shit, I'ma watch you fall, and I'ma laugh at it. And that's how the fuck I feel about Floyd Mayweather. How the fuck he get? How he get? Fuck him. For real. So, I meant to show y'all this a while ago. Y'all might have already seen it. But, it was a YouTuber. Not even familiar with his page. But he did a video a while ago, going through the whole lawsuit that Floyd filed on Jonah, right? Now, I don't buy everything that Cho said, because I know he doing it for Jonah, and even though I love what Jonah did to Floyd, I still think he's a slime ball. But he got receipts. One thing I can say, he got receipts. So we're gonna check that out. It was a couple days ago. This before the Austin Metcalf shit. Was I meant to Ben talk about this, but Karmelo Anthony and Cyrus Belton was more important. You know, so we had to put the frivolous shit to the back. Yeah, y'all. Floyd fucked that money up. That's the fuck he get. Talking cold cash shit. Yo, that's why, yo, you gotta humble yourself, man. Yo, cause what goes up comes down, man. You got to humble yourself sometimes. You know, it's good to be cocky, you know, sometimes. But you don't want to be arrogant. You know, it's the difference between being cocky, confident, and arrogant. If you're a little cocky and confident, man, it's cool. But once you become arrogant, that's an issue. Now, I ain't gonna be one of the ones that said I was waiting for him to fail, because I wasn't. Shit, I hope, you know, I hope he could have did that shit forever. But him failing don't really bother me. Hey, what the fuck made you think you was gonna be able to spend $1 million a day, bro? For the rest of your life, $1 million a day? Like, nigga, what are you doing? Where's, like, where's the people that he made millionaires? Like, did Floyd make anybody a millionaire? I don't think Floyd made nobody no millionaires, man. Like, yo, you getting all that money. Cause that's the type of shit you should want. You should be able to. You should want to brag on. You feel me? Like, that's worth bragging about. You made some money, then you got other niggas rich. Yeah, man. Me and my whole team good. You know, brag about that shit. Like, yeah, salute to yo, man. Yo did it the right way. Came up, brought the team up. Everybody getting money. Everybody looking good. But nah, yo, these dudes, they want to have the money. They don't want other niggas to get on. They don't want other niggas on. I know how I can find it. Shit. My fucking internet be acting stupid shit, yo. God damn, yo. It was a guy that did a video, and he went through the whole jiffy. Is this it? No, this ain't it. I know how to find it. Fuck it. politician did a video on it. You can find it from your page. I think this shit right here.
Watches, let's get to it. What we talk?
No, this ain't doing that. God damn, y'all. Should have all this shit set up if I even fucking went live. I can't find shit. That shit wasn't no month ago. No, it wasn't no month ago. Let's see if it's this.
Floyd works for.
Yeah, that's it right here. Alright, here we go. I got it.
Money Mayweather has money problems. He owes the IRS.
Alright, so right here, this guy named Spencer Cornell went through the whole debacle. You know, the whole thing involving Mayweather and his beef with Jonah. Actually did a good job. And show proof. He's just like, this is his last ditch attempt to get some money, and he just suing people recklessly.
He owes car dealers. He's pawning jewelry. A guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars in his career is somehow running out of money. And now he's suing everyone, claiming he's owed money. While he may be able to keep up the facade that it's everyone else's fault, Floyd's spending problem is the reason why he's going broke. I was able to go directly to the source to get private information that hasn't been shared publicly yet, to discuss the recent lawsuit that sent shockwaves throughout the sports world. Mayweather suing former associate in an alleged $175 million fraud scheme. That associate, Jonah, shared with me private text messages, private images of Floyd signing contracts, and access to private communication with his team. And the proof I've been given will contradict everything you've heard in the news about this case. By going through all the claims presented in the lawsuit, I'll share all the private information that I have access to so we can understand fully what's going on with Floyd Mayweather. In 2017, Recknitz and Mayweather became friends, which ultimately led to Recknitz becoming Floyd's investment manager, real estate advisor, and banking liaison. Jonah helped put deals together for Floyd. He was his manager. So that's sponsorships, real estate deals, and fights, just to name a few revenue streams. Jonah shared with me that he was not on salary, meaning he only made money when there was a commission on finding a deal. As an example, Jonah shared with me that Floyd was running out of money in 2020, so Jonah put together a fight with Logan Paul to generate income, as well as many other exhibition fights. Turns out the only people actually punching Floyd in the face at this time were the IRS debt collectors. More on that in a minute. The first big claim that Floyd makes is that he wasn't aware that in 2016 Recknitz had pleaded guilty to wire fraud conspiracy, that Recknitz had cooperated with the United States attorney, or that Recknitz had been the subject of significant civil litigation. What Floyd's attorney was trying to do with this complaint is make it look like Floyd was taken advantage of by a guy with a questionable past. Like Floyd is this innocent victim who had no idea who this guy really was. There's a little problem with that, because I have proof he did know. This letter on the screen was sent in 2023 by Floyd Mayweather to a U.S. District Judge for the Southern District of New York. The bottom includes Floyd's name and his signature. For context, this is Floyd Mayweather's letter to the judge in Jonah Reckness's case, speaking about Jonah's character and why he deserves a better outcome. In the second paragraph, he writes, "We became friendly and I supported him when he was going through the process of being sentenced in 2019. That sounds to me like he knew about Jonah's litigation in New York." In the third paragraph, he writes that Jonah has worked with him as his promoter and business advisor. He has taken the job and run with it, helping Floyd in every aspect and opening up new opportunities. He further mentions the charitable work they've done together. Further down, he mentions that people have tried to take advantage of Jonah by bringing lawsuits against him as a way to extort him. And finally, Floyd writes, "I appreciate you taking the time to read this letter, Your Honor. I would just ask that you consider my personal testimony that Jonah Reckness is a good person." He claimed that he didn't know about Jonah's past in the complaint, yet he wrote that letter in support of Jonah, showing he clearly knew about the litigation in New York. So it doesn't seem to add up. Many have speculated that Mayweather is coming out of retirement for a rematch with Pacquiao because he needs the money. Yes, this is why. Around August 2025, Floyd needed cash money, so he decided to start pawning his jewelry. Here's a text on August 25th, 2025, of Jonah sending Floyd an image of his watch and the word loan below. That represents that watch as being within the group that was being pawned. Here's the second image sent on that day. The top image is a collection of watches that were grouped together for a November loan and that many had been returned after the balance was paid down. Here's the next message of another collection of watches that were used for a loan. The image on the left is an exhibit Floyd included in the complaint. Within this list are 4 of the watches you see in the text message on the right that were included in the group of watches that were pawned. This indicates he continues to lie about not knowing that his watches were getting pawned for a loan to fund his lifestyle. What was told to me is that Floyd was running out of money. Obviously, his broke is a lot different than broke for me and you. But at this time, he needed money, so he decided to pawn $13 million from his watch collection. He does have his own jet and has flown private for a couple decades. And he has an extensive exotic car collection. But what has been shared with me is that his lifestyle is so expensive that he constantly needs to take out loans against all his assets. And it's fine when he's fighting and making money because he can pay the loans back. But it's kind of like musical chairs. Here's Floyd texting about having to give up all of his jewelry and watches and all of his women's bags. Further, he sent the text, "Don't forget about my ladies' Birkins, also that's a part of the 13 million. In December 2025, Floyd texted,
"The ladies' Birkins gotta go too." Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. When shit get tight, everything must go. Shit, I'm gonna keep it real. Everything must go. I didn't got tight to the point where I had to sell straps. And you know, in Baltimore, we don't even do that. Shit real. Things got to go. Out here buying Birkins and shit. Man, how many of his homeboys got motherfucking some cars, man? The price of a Birkin, you can get a nice whip for that. Some damn Birkin bags. See, this is why I got no remorse for y'all. Cause how your circle living? You buying bitches Birkin bags. What's up with your circle, y'all? What's up with the guys, man? Is the guy situated? Is the family good? Mom, Dukes, Pops, the kids?
"Please keep me updated on my jewelry and Birkins. Thanks." Back in March, so around 7 months after he began pawning, he texted his pawn shop lender asking about the balance he owes so Jonah knows what the number is. Jonah, as Floyd's manager and the one who handles all the financial transactions, is the one who ensures that all the loans are paid off. The lender responds $1.85 million in checks, $10.8 million in jewelry, and $1.47 million in fees. And he mentions needing another $360,000 by Friday so the fees don't keep adding up. Floyd received the $13 million for pawning watches in his supposed $100 million watch collection. Jonah shared with me that people pay up to 3% per month, which is why the fees were so high. That loan was almost paid in full. If you reread Joel's message, it makes sense. Joel says, "I have recouped everything and hasn't had to sell any pieces. All that remains is another $360,000, so Floyd doesn't have to pay any more fees." In case you aren't following, Joel can sell the watches that were pawned if Floyd doesn't pay the $13 million back. But he didn't need to sell watches because he was paid back and made $1.5 million in fees. In the complaint, Floyd discusses pawning his $100 million jewelry collection with the words, "to be pledged or placed in the possession of Joel, a Miami jewelry dealer." The amount received was around $13 million. A substantial portion of the pledged jewelry remains in the possession of Joel and Modi, and no accounting has been provided to Mr. Mayweather, and then alleges that the consideration received was diverted by Reckness.
See, the thing is, right? Like, he's trying to paint this narrative that, like, I think Floyd wasn't aware. He may have signed all these things, which is his fault. Don't get me wrong. But we ain't gonna act like Jonah wasn't on no bullshit, too. You know, two things could be true. I think Floyd might have, did some of these things that, people were saying. Or that Jonah is saying. He signed off on this shit. He might have been aware somewhat, but his lack of education is a hindrance. I'm willing to believe that Floyd just be signing shit. He think nigga, You know, he said he trusts Jonah with his life. Hey, James, don't go nowhere, because we're going to get to him next. So stay right there, James Wheaton. You want to come on live and talk about it, James?
And not paid to Floyd. I just shared the text messages between Floyd and Joel showing the accounting of the transaction and that nothing seemed to be awry. This is not the first time Floyd has had to take a pawn loan. Earlier last year, he borrowed $1 million from his friend Avi, the owner of Avi & Co., against his $18 million Jacob & Co. watch. Upon research, I realized that even though the retail is $18 million, the market value is about $2 to $3 million. So Floyd's $100 million jewelry collection is more likely worth a fraction of that. Why is Floyd Mayweather pawning jewelry despite being so wealthy and always seemingly around cash? I asked Jonah how much Floyd spends every single month on his team, and Jonah estimated around $1 million.
What?
What happens when you can't afford your team's salaries? Here's a video from Floyd's assistant of his entire jewelry collection as they took photos and video of all of the jewelry before pawning. This photo is the same table from the video before with cash on the table as that was the cash delivered for pawning the jewelry. When you add up Floyd's entire lifestyle, he could easily be spending $2 to $3 million per month, which means he probably needs to be making around $50 million of pre-tax income in order to just break even on that lifestyle expenses. When you're fighting Conor McGregor or Manny Pacquiao, you can cover that type of spend. But I always talk about this in my athletes going road series. These athletes will keep their lifestyle spend around the same, and when that income goes to essentially zero, they go broke pretty quickly. Floyd claims Jonah screwed him, but ironically, Jonah actually saved him from being bankrupt. Floyd claims he invested $31.5 million into real estate deals and has made a nominal amount of money as a return on his investment. I actually have the distribution letter for his portfolio. Here's the three portfolios listed totaling $31.5 million. The annual distribution for the total is around $3.9 million. Back in 2024, when Floyd began investing in real estate, he had no liquidity. He had no cash.
He essentially had no cash to his name. Jonah presents an idea of Floyd Mayweather.
Jonah presents an idea of Floyd Mayweather, as Floyd at the time had two properties that were owned in full, however, they weren't being rented out, so they were costing him money every month. Jonah says you should invest that money in real estate so that you can start earning cash flow. In one of the exhibits filed with the complaint, Floyd shows the sale of his Beverly Hills and Miami properties. Instead of having two houses sit empty like before, Floyd is now earning almost $4 million every year in cash flow while owning valuable real estate in New York. So it's odd seeing him file this complaint alleging he's been screwed. Does anyone remember this fight? It was in 2015, 11 years ago. And this fight was in 2017. Al Heyman had to advance Floyd money from this fight.
All right, thanks, y'all. Yo, how long has the echo been going on, y'all? Please don't tell me this and ain't nobody say nothing. How long the echo been going, y'all? Cause we've been live for a while.
Because Floyd had already spent all of his money. All of this spending is not new. It's been going on for years. So think about this. It's been 9 years since that fight. Let's assume Floyd spends around $20 million per year, which is pretty reasonable given his lifestyle expenses. That would have meant he spent $180 million since that fight in 2017. He's always posted pictures with cash money because it's his branding. And he certainly has had a lot of money at one point.
Is it gone? It should be gone now. All right. All right, thanks.
But spending a couple $1 million per month blows through this cash instantly. Floyd may have had a $100 million jewelry and watch collection, and that's certainly wealthy to me and you. But when you're spending $20, $30 million per year, that $100 million can dry up pretty quickly. Which is why he now needs to exit retirement to fight Manny Pacquiao for a payday. One of the other claims is about Floyd selling his jet and not receiving any money. There's mention in the complaint that the block for the purchaser was left blank. What the media misunderstood was that the plane wasn't sold for $1 like the complaint lists here. Here's the actual signed contract, which does list the consideration of $1 and OVC, and you can see Floyd's signature down below. I think what was misunderstood is that the plane...
I'm saying Floyd just was signing shit. Like yo, like how you just let this man just... He might have robbed you and got away with it. Yo, he literally might have robbed Floyd and got away with it. Because Floyd lacks intelligence. You know? Can't read. I mean, I don't know if he can read, but he can't write. Normally, writing and reading goes hand in hand.
Didn't actually sell for $1. OVC means other valuable considerations, which means the sale was for more than $1. This happens when private parties don't want the amount known to the public. Here's the text message between Jonah and Floyd. Jonah sent the payoff letter from the lender of his private.
So Floyd say thanks. I'm already a step ahead. That will be handled middle of the week, next week. I'm on it, family. Floyd sent
Jet, as well as a letter from Navy Federal Credit Union regarding a $2.787 million payoff. What happened was Floyd took out a large loan against the value of the jet. So when the jet was sold, a large chunk of the money went to pay off the loan and many of his other debts.
Oh, see? So that's why he ain't get no money from the jet. Remember when I read the paperwork, I said, yo, that nigga sold the jet and they ain't pay yo. So that's where the money went. Nigga, you owed the bank. Yo, but still though, all just aside, I still want to take this, even with this proof, well, what looks like to be proof. I still don't trust Jonah. You know, I ain't gonna side with Jonah over Floyd. You know what I mean? But, you know, the evidence is compelling. You feel me? How the fuck, yo, you thought you was gonna get some money and you owed the bank, yo? You know the sale gotta go through the bank. You know, they take their money off tap, my nigga. Cause I think Floyd on the alleged, he got like, what was it, like $3,000? Like he got next to nothing. Oh, $3 million. Oh no, he owed the bank $3 million. Yeah, he ain't getting next to nothing. I don't think he got nothing for the jet.
Here's the payoff demand statement for the jet. Highlighted as
y'all remember we read this paperwork, right? Y'all do remember that.
borrower named Floyd Mayweather. The total loan payoff is around $2.79 million, and the highlight in the bottom left is the property collateral as the Gulfstream Learjet. This is the bank wire transfer receipt from the credit union. Both of these documents were sent to Floyd, so he's clearly lying about the jet only selling for $1 and him being out of the know on the jet selling. The picture on the left is Floyd signing the contract, and the picture on the right is Floyd holding the aircraft purchase and sale agreement right after signing it. Does he...
Yeah. Yo, Floyd Mayweather is a prime example of just because you got the money, yo, that don't mean you always right. You know, because a lot of people think that, especially in today's world, they think because I got the bag, you got to listen to me and I'm smarter than you, yo. That does not mean that. You might just was good at something. You know, you might have just mastered a particular craft, and that's an end all be all. But anything outside of that, you're ignorant. Damn, Floyd. Yo guys, look at yo. How the fuck is you posing for the camera with the contract you had and then fucking put out a lawsuit talking about you got scammed this shit? Golly, shorty.
In September 2025, indicating that the house and airplane contracts were done, and Floyd responded, "Let's go." To make it even more clear that Floyd knew about the plane purchase.
What? Nothing funnier than when he was showing off their properties. Yo, remember yo, he was dying laughing off that shit. Yo, remember he was walking through New York like, yeah, I own all this. Like, nigga, no the fuck you don't, nigga. What you talking about? Oh, Lord.
And the terms of the purchase and sale. Here's a text between Floyd and Jonah where Floyd writes, "Can you call me about the plane, please? I need for you to update me, please." And Jonah responded, "Plane is ready to close." Jonah saved hundreds of private images, screenshots of text messages, and I can understand why he did it. They were dealing with millions upon millions of dollars. Floyd was going broke, and Jonah worried that Floyd was going to start blaming those around him for his financial problems. Back in November 2025, Jonah sent this message to Floyd saying, "I can help continue to create income for you for life, but you need to start saving more money and spending less. Borrowing from a credit line should be for investment purposes, not to pay past due bills because we will have to pay it back." Floyd also claims that 80% distributions to Mayweather Promotions LLC and 20% to be paid to Frist Apex Ventures were diverted by Recknitz. Throughout the complaint, Floyd is claiming that fraud was going on because he only received 80% of the distributions, which is interesting because he signed the operating agreement for that split. This is Floyd holding up the settlement statement of a closed transaction involving his company, Mayweather Promotions, and Frist Apex Ventures. His smile doesn't...
Like, what it sounds like is that Floyd owed the bank a lot. So whenever he did have these deals, he was getting shorted because the bank got paid first. That's what it sounded like what was going on. Based off of right here, which it tells him that you should only be getting loans from the bank. What the fuck? I can help you create income for your life, but you need to start saving more money and spending less. Borrowing from a credit line should be for investment purposes, not to pay past due bills, because we will have to pay it back. And then what? So that's what it sounded like what was going on with Floyd. He wasn't getting his percentage because he owed the bank. Say, for years, you take items with payments. Please do not do it anymore. That system that AI allow is dangerous. It's too stressful catching up. Yes, dates can be changed. It would be different if it's the money that I owe you personally, as if I borrowed it from you. But this is for investments and businesses that have a lot of moving parts. Yeah, basically. Yeah, so that's what was going on, y'all. He owed the bank a lot. He still owed it. He owed the IRS now millions.
Holding up the settlement statement of a closed transaction involving his company, Mayweather Promotions, and Frist Apex Ventures. His smile doesn't look like someone who is upset with the deal that just closed. I've seen the operating agreement between these two companies that Floyd signed showing an 80-20 split. And since I promised you receipts, here's the document with the distribution allocation of 80% for Mayweather Promotions and 20% for Frist Apex Ventures. Down at the bottom, you can see Floyd's signature agreeing to the terms of the contract.
Floyd is a motherfucking businessman dream. You heard me? If you get in business with Floyd, you in the money. Literally in the money, because he don't know how to track it or know how to maintain it.
Part of the fraud claim against Rechnitz and Frist, Floyd claims IL Frist signed distribution letters as manager of Vada Properties when he held no such office, and by signing as CEO of Vada Properties when he held no such office. This is a screenshot of Floyd's Instagram over a year ago. The picture in the middle is Floyd promoting speaking at a conference about real estate with IL Frist. In the post, IL is listed as the CEO of Vada Properties. This is the Real Deal conference where Floyd is talking about buying real estate, and IL Frist is the man to his right.
I had a very, very smart team. Guys that was very, very educated in real estate. I gave them
Hey, I'm sorry. It's so funny, yo. God damn, Floyd. Why you ain't go to like some type of, you could have did an online course on business management or something, bro. Like, and then you got all these Jewish white guys in control of everything. Damn, shorty. This nigga, yo. Has he even been seen on camera lately? I think he embarrassed. I don't think when the last time somebody seen Floyd?
9 figures. I went from 7. I skipped over 8 because it was paying so good. I went to 9 figures.
That doesn't sound like someone who is disappointed in the outcome of his real estate investing. Another major allegation in the complaint is that
see what this video is doing though is use his ignorance against him. Yo, Floyd doesn't know what he's talking about. You feel me? Like, yeah, he said that, but that don't mean that's what actually happened. Like, in his mind, he probably thought he skipped over 8 and went to 9 figures, but in reality, that shit never happened. And what they doing is they using it against him.
It's orchestrated a $13 million loan from Hankey Capital LLC secured by Floyd's property in Miami Beach, Florida. The picture in the background is of Floyd and Don Hankey. This property is actually owned by Josh Gatlib and Meyer Orbach. Back in 2024, when Floyd was running out of cash, he needed to sell 2 properties, so he sold it to the 2 names I just mentioned, and it was a favor by them. But the allegation is that $6.5 million of that loan went to the purchase of the private jet we discussed earlier in the video, and only approximately $4 million was made available to Mayweather Promotions. The full accounting is right here. $6.5 million to buy a jet with TBE Aviation LLC as the owner. That's Floyd's private jet-related LLC. The $4 million to Mayweather Promotions is listed, and all of the other allocations are listed, with none relating to Rechnitz or the other defendants. He also claimed there was another loan of $16.4 million and worded it such that it looks like Frist Apex Ventures took $8.8 million of his money. The money from these properties all became his investment in the $31.5 million portfolio mentioned a few moments earlier, properly managed by the LLC he's suing.
So what I told them is, of course, I wanted my payout to be a little different. Normally the payouts are, at the beginning of the month, but I wanted my payouts to be every week, spread it out throughout the week, because I'm traveling, family, friends. We're traveling, we're moving around, we're doing different things.
Why would you want the payouts done that's just say you spending money rapidly, bro. Like, you can make it, dress it up however you want to dress it up. Why would you want the payouts every week? You're not even giving the money a chance to grow. You're taking money before it even mature.
So I wanted my payouts to be like that, and everything played out like it played out, and everything was going great.
This speech stood out to me now that I'm viewing it through the lens of Floyd going broke. Why in the world would you need to change the distribution schedule to be weekly? Didn't Floyd make like $500 million boxing? Why do you now all of a sudden, you're so tight on cash flow that you need your distributions to be paid every single week so you can afford a vacation? Floyd Mayweather fathers baby with dancer, ordered to pay $1 million in back child support. Jonah told me that Frist Apex Ventures assisted with paying his child support, meaning his lawsuit against them is even more perplexing. I found the court documents with his unexpected baby mama. Floyd did not deny being the father and was not happy with the news. He was angry and blamed her for getting pregnant. He attempted to force her to have an abortion and then blocked her from phone communication and text when he realized she was keeping the baby. Sounds like a great father. I even have the text messages between Floyd and her, but I'll blur for privacy reasons. It's not good. Here's the child support payments that stopped in December 2024 when Floyd was really having money problems. Floyd was ordered to pay $32,850 a month in child support, in addition to $933,050 in back support. This is how you go broke. I also have a letter from the IRS for taxpayer Floyd Mayweather. This is the notice of levy from the IRS for his unpaid $3.35 million in taxes from 2018. This was sent to Wells Fargo to seize any money in Floyd's Wells Fargo account. And they did the same for his JP Morgan Chase account. Here's an official IRS tax lien document sent to Floyd Mayweather on his property for the amount owed of around $7.28 million for the years 2018 and 2023. Some might say he's not going broke, he just wants to push off paying back the IRS, but I think this next document is a smoking gun. This is the collection of appeal request Floyd sent to the IRS on why he couldn't pay. The explanation he sent was, need more time to gather the funds to pay in full. This is the IRS about to start seizing his assets. This isn't a personal loan. Why in the world, if he's made hundreds of millions of dollars, why doesn't he just pay the couple $1 million so he can get the IRS off his back? Jonah still hasn't been served with the complaint, which means he can't respond, and also because this lawsuit follows exactly what Floyd does with the media. Floyd has been claiming that he is unaware of a lot of the documents and that he didn't sign for deals. Jonah provided evidence to me of images he took of Floyd having a notary visit his house to sign. I'm blurring a lot of this to protect Floyd's privacy, but those are his fingerprints. Jonah provided a quote, "I do not want to litigate this issue through the media, nor do I want to embarrass Floyd publicly, so I will say this. It's sad that Floyd blew through his money. I wrote him many letters concerning his spending habits, which are documented. I had many conversations with him about slowing down with the spending, but unfortunately it caught up to him and now he's looking to blame others." One of these letters to the TMT team was shared with me. This letter is 5 pages long and describes all of the issues that Jonah was having managing Floyd. Jonah even includes a paragraph about no longer wanting to work with Floyd because of the spending problems and how much of a risk it became to be around Floyd. First, he blamed Al Heyman, and now he's blaming me. He sued Showtime for $340 million, sued Business Insider for $100 million, and now sued me for $175 million. He is unhinged. I hope he can get back on his feet and control his spending. Floyd can continue to lie that he didn't know about the airplane purchase or the jewelry pawns. The facts speak for themselves. There's a lot more, and I have all of the backup which we tried to show Floyd's attorney before they filed suit, but he refused to review any evidence that would contradict his frivolous lawsuit. Bottom line, I saw the writing on the wall, and because I knew Mayweather may eventually turn on me, I kept meticulous records of all of the transactions. Something I very much...
Though, right? Yo said he knew Mayweather was going to eventually turn on him. But we watched, the last time we covered this, we watched Floyd Mayweather say, "I trust Jonah with my life." So, so Floyd trusted Jonah with his life, and Jonah ain't trust Floyd at all. Hey, yo, remember we was tripping up? Man, he said, I trust Jonah, not 1%, not 2%, but 100%. Remember, he said that shit on several different, at least 3 times. And Jonah ain't even trust this nigga.
Learned over the past few years analyzing litigation and media scandals is that a lot of wealthy people know how to use media and litigation as strategy. I'll show you how media actually works. Let me use this as an example. Back in September 2025, this article titled "Floyd Mayweather Sues Vegas Car Dealer Over Sale. You Lied to Me" was released on TMZ Sports. The article is full of quotes about the dealer engaging in shady business practices and overcharging Floyd and possibly defrauding him. Floyd wasn't the victim. He wanted to use the media to pressure the dealer so the dealer wouldn't come after him for the money Floyd owed the dealer. But the other news organizations need stories, so they spread the headlines that Floyd is suing a car dealer for a fraudulent purchase. Sports Illustrated picks up the story. Then Fox News picks up the story. The following day, the Vegas car dealer filed a complaint against Floyd. Floyd purchased 4 vehicles totaling $2.25 million from the dealer. Floyd wrote 2 checks for the purchase of the vehicles. The problem is that the checks bounced. They didn't go through, and Floyd still had possession of the vehicles. Even worse is that Floyd drove one of the cars from Vegas to LA and added 1,500 miles to the car. They ultimately had to reach a settlement agreement where Floyd still owed $1.2 million to the dealer. I think that story is relevant because it's another sign of Floyd's money problems, but I also wanted to highlight his media strategy. Floyd has a private relationship with TMZ Sports. If he wants someone to look bad, he'll go to them first so that they can publish a featured article about Floyd being defrauded. Then he'll file a complaint full of lies the following day and paint himself out to be a victim. TMZ Sports was the first to reveal this story. A lot of people mentioned to me that I should make a video about Floyd suing his business manager, but I held off because I wanted to hear Jonah's side first because I know exactly how Floyd uses the media. And after Jonah shared hundreds of private images and screenshots of text messages with me, it's clear that this lawsuit is another example of this strategy. In February, Floyd sued Showtime for $340 million, claiming there's a conspiracy to not pay him what he's owed. He also sued Business Insider for $100 million and then immediately dropped it. I hope you're starting to see the pattern. He goes to the media to play victim, gets all the other news organizations to distribute the story because he's use the media as a strategy, not as reporting on truth. Logan Paul claims Floyd still owes him money. Miami jeweler sues Floyd Mayweather Jr. for $1.4 million bling tab. The retired boxer asked to pay the $1.675 million owed to the jeweler at a later date. The jeweler also alleges that Mayweather submitted 5 checks that bounced. Floyd Mayweather sued for $330,000 in alleged unpaid rent on luxury Manhattan apartment. Another lawsuit filed against Floyd for the use of an unpaid private jet trip. I've been sued a couple different times and know what it's like to have multiple false allegations written about you in a complaint. I've been accused of being a member of a criminal enterprise and assaulting someone. See, in America, you can write whatever you want in the complaint, even if it's full of lies. What's interesting about this lawsuit is that it's a verified complaint, meaning Floyd is signing under the penalty of perjury that everything is factual. Maybe he isn't capable of reading ChatGPT's answer on why it's a bad idea filing a verified complaint full of lies. He could be hit with a perjury charge. Floyd also has a bit of a gambling problem. It's known that he bets a lot of money on sports. If you follow my channel, then you know how much money these guys lose betting on sports. Easily millions of dollars. The amount of money these degenerates gamble is truly mind-boggling. Just this one hand of blackjack appears to have around $100,000 wagered. Not a good look when you owe the IRS. There were many claims, but to summarize the main claims against Recknitz, Floyd alleged that the jet sold for $1 and he didn't receive any of the proceeds. The evidence proves this is a lie. Floyd also alleged that he wasn't aware of this jewelry being pawned and that he didn't receive the proceeds. The evidence proves this is also a lie. And lastly, Floyd claims he was defrauded.
For agreements. We're going to get to that. See, yo, this the thing. And maybe we can get to it now. Yo, when you talk about the witnesses, you got to remember, man, they all was witnesses. Damn near all the witnesses was from Austin Metcalf school. You got to understand. See, yo, the problem is with a lot of y'all is y'all think this is an honest, dude, this is not an honest system, y'all. This system lies, manipulates. You gotta understand that, man. They coerce witnesses. These are things that's coercing witnesses is damn near allowed in criminal court. Some of these witnesses changed their statements, changed their testimony. Some of the defense witnesses changed their testimony, man. You got to see this. This is the most important thing, especially for the black witnesses that testified. They're living in a predominantly white community, right? And a lot of these people are affluent black people. You know, they're not wealthy, they're not rich, but they doing pretty good for themselves. After they get off the stand, they got to come back and live in these communities. They got to go to these schools. They got to work these jobs. You see the political climate that's going on there, the racial tension that's going on there. So, not saying that they lied. I'm just saying what I'm saying is they could have. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they left some things out there, testimony, to side with Austin Metcalf. See, but y'all don't understand that's how the system works. Y'all don't understand that's how the system works. So that sounds crazy to y'all. It sounds crazy to y'all that people will get on the stand and lie and change their story. Because though all of them said that Karmelo was the aggressor, their story, some of them said it was a soft push. Some of them said it was a football push. Some of them said, you understand what I'm saying? Now the family thought that was enough to secure a not guilty verdict, but no. Just say person. No, it's not a conspiracy theorist. I just understand court. Probably better than you. I've been through court. I've been through a murder. I've been through a murder case. I was faced with a shady prosecution. I know that these things happen. You just watching on TV and watching news. I lived it. Need to listen, man. Just saying, you gotta keep that in mind, yo. Gotta keep that in mind. Not a conspiracy theorist. I just know these people play games, man. You don't. You feel me? Nancy Grace obliterates Karmelo Anthony. I didn't know Nancy Grace was this.
A random family having a right.
She probably was always. Yo, I got cases. I covered cases on my page where 1980 something, 85. The Harlem Park 3. I think that's what they call them, out of Baltimore. Where a kid was robbed inside of Harlem Park Middle School for their starter jacket. One person. So when the police got involved, right? They questioned damn near all of these juvenile witnesses by themselves. By themselves. It's on my page. Go check it out. And by themselves, the police concocted a story for these kids to sign. And when it came time to testimony, they coerced these kids to follow the script. It wasn't until one of these kids became an adult. Always felt wrong about it. But got older, became an adult, and worked to get these boys free because they know they ain't belong there. It's on my page. It's a hell of a story. You want to see the story first? Let's go to the story first. Let's go to the story first. And don't think that, oh, that was the 80s. Because I got locked up in 2006 and they swindled me. This is what they do to black people, man. See, and this the thing, yo, y'all got to stay out this shit. Like, I think what confuses y'all is when we say the white man, yo, we ain't talking about the white man. We talking about the system that was created by a white man. Y'all making it hard, y'all. Y'all making it hard. That's what makes it a race issue as opposed to an issue between us and the system. Because y'all sit back blindly and defend this shit, not knowing what's really going on. Y'all just defend it. I don't know why y'all do it. I don't. I don't know. The easy thing would be to say racist, but that's too easy. It gotta be something else too to add to it. Because I don't think everybody racist. I think it's just, matter of fact, I think it's just ignorance. I'd rather put on ignorance than racist. The fuck, y'all? Listen to this story. This shit real, man. It's a dirty system. See, the problem is, I got videos that should have went viral, but YouTube play a dirty game. Starter jacket robbery lands 3 Baltimore teens life in prison. Check this out. I ain't gonna play what I say. I'm just gonna. Oh shit! I didn't even know y'all wasn't looking. All right, hold on. I ain't deflecting. I'm ready to show you something. I'm ready to show you how they do it. That you don't think it's possible. I'm ready to show you what they did and how it was done. Yo, what it is, people, we is back. Another day on Keep It G News.
Look for the stars, and you'll find... Yo, this is Jazzy Jeff. And how did I get my starter hat to look like this? The Jazzy Jeff breakdown. First you grab the hat, then you grip the hat, then you flip the hat.
Jackets. In the 80s, it wasn't as profitable, or it didn't cost as much, but people still look at this item as a hot commodity. And I'm talking about, y'all, state to state. People was getting murdered for starter coats. I'm talking about Baltimore, D.C., New York, Texas. All right, so let me get to the article. Your preliminary of the case.
We outside them walls, but in the inside, I hate to put it like this, we went through hell. It wasn't easy.
Well, next week, Baltimore's spending board will be asked to approve what could be the largest payout in the city's history for the wrongful conviction of 3 men.
Today isn't a victory. Today.
Look, they went in like this and came out like this. Look at this shit. Took them, robbed their whole youth. Came out old ass men.
It's a tragedy that these men had 36 years of their life stolen from them.
These are men who went to jail as teens and came out as young grandfathers.
And this morning, Baltimore City's Board of Estimates approved a $48 million settlement for the Harlem Park Three's wrongful conviction.
But innocence wasn't enough, and the growing case against them dominated the news.
Prosecutors in court told the judge they had 5 witnesses who saw Andrew Stewart try to remove the jacket from DeWitt Duckett that day. The judge gave him $75,000 bond. Those same witnesses saw Ranson Watkins hold the man about the neck. They gave him $100,000 bail. And those same witnesses saw Alfred Chestnut pull the trigger and kill DeWitt Duckett. The judge set his bail at $150,000.
Except none of that was true. A lawsuit against police claims that officers coerced young witnesses to lie and that the detectives fabricated a narrative to pin the crime on the innocent teens.
He don't have no gun. He don't own no gun.
Eyewitness accounts were ignored, as was physical evidence pointing to a different suspect. The suit names Baltimore police officers Donald Kincaid, John Barrick, Bryn Joyce, and the Baltimore Police Department. The men describe how police repeatedly tried to get them to admit they did it, but they stuck together, knowing they were innocent.
Police, in their rush to judgment, decided they were the ones they wanted to prosecute, didn't bother looking at really strong evidence about the real killer, and then concealed evidence that these folks were innocent, threatened witnesses.
The three men were just teenagers when they were convicted in the murder of 14-year-old DeWitt Duckett 40 years ago. And as Conroy pointed out today, they were grandfathers when they were exonerated in 2019. They filed lawsuits against the city and others in 2020, and today the Board of Estimates approved their $48 million settlement, giving each of them $14.9 million.
And we did reach out to Baltimore police, who says they do not comment on pending litigation.
So the Harlem Park 3 wind up getting exonerated after 36 years, like I just said. But how many people know what happened with this case? You know, what made this case? Four agreements. Are you still here? Listen to this shit. Since you don't be understanding, or I mean, but it's nothing wrong. At least if you're still here, at least you're willing to learn. Like it's okay being ignorant, but when you just want to be willfully ignorant, that's a problem. But if you're just ignorant because you don't know, I can't blame nobody for that. Now listen to this article and listen to how the police did these kids. On November 18th, 1983, plaintiff Chestnut, Stewart, and Watkins, along with two other friends, visited Harlem Park Junior High School where they used to be students. Around 12:45 p.m., a security officer escorted the five boys off the school grounds and watched them walk up the street away from the school. The security officer then locked the school entrance and exits. Around 1:18 p.m. that same day, Harlem Park students DeWitt Duckett was headed to lunch with three friends, minors who will be referred to as EC, RB, and JC. One of the three friends, JC, turned back to grab something that he left behind. Duckett was approached from behind by an individual carrying a .22 caliber revolver who demanded Duckett give him the Georgetown University starter jacket he was wearing that day. Before Duckett could remove the jacket, the individual shot him once in the neck, took the jacket and fled to school. JC, who was on his way back to his friends, saw the shooter, but was standing too far away to make out his face. Duckett was pronounced dead at the hospital 2 hours later. He was 14 years old. His friends EC, RB, and JC were 14, 15, and 16, respectively. Shortly after the murder, Baltimore Police Department Officer Christopher Rayburn arrived at the school, where he learned that Duckett's three friends had potentially witnessed the murder. Officer Rayburn spoke with the friends, who reported that a single individual had approached Duckett, demanded his jacket, and shot him. Officer Rayburn included such information in a report he wrote that day, November 18th. The BPD Homicide Unit then took over the investigation of Duckett's murder. Defendant Kincaid was the lead investigator of the murder. Defendants Joyce and Barrick were members of the investigative team. At the time, Barrick was also the immediate supervisor of the unit as a sergeant. The plaintiffs alleged that the supervisor, Barrick, was responsible for providing leadership and reviewing all witness statements taken by the detectives. The plaintiffs also generally alleged that the officers' defendants worked collaboratively throughout the investigation, sharing information with each other as it was gathered and summarizing their progress in notes and reports that were provided to the commanding officer. The day after the murder, knowing that the plaintiffs had been present at school that day, the officers' defendants questioned Chestnut and Watkins. According to plaintiffs, when Kincaid questioned Watkins, he stated, "You have two things against you. You're black, and I have a badge." The officers' defendants also later interrogated Stewart. In those initial interrogations, each of the plaintiffs asserted they had nothing to do with the murder. In the 4 days after the murder, the officers' defendants also questioned two of Duckett's friends who had been walking with him to lunch. RB, who remained with Duckett the entire time, and JC, who turned his back to grab something he left behind. The plaintiffs alleged that the officers' defendants questioned each of the students at least 3 times and showed them multiple photo arrays, including arrays with pictures of plaintiffs, but neither of the children identified the plaintiffs as being involved in their friend's murder. Plaintiffs assert that these interviewers were not memorialized, and many statements made by RB and JC at the time were not disclosed to the state's attorney's office or the defense. Around the same time of these initial interviews with the plaintiffs in RB and JC, on or before November 22nd, the plaintiffs alleged that the officers' defendants received information regarding the man, referred to here as John Doe, who was seen running away from Harlem Park and throwing down a gun on the day Duckett was murdered. The plaintiffs also alleged that the officers' defendants learned that the same man was wearing a Georgetown jacket on the night of the murder. John Doe is believed to be Duckett's true killer. However, he passed away before any criminal charges were brought against him. As he was never charged or convicted of the crime, the plaintiffs chose to exclude his name. On November 23, 1983, the officers' defendants interviewed another minor student at Harlem Park, YT. The 13-year-old girl allegedly told the officers' defendants that she had not seen the shooting of Duckett and did not know who was involved. Plaintiffs alleged that defendants Kincaid and Barrett coerced and intimidated the girls into abducting their false version of events. Specifically, the plaintiffs alleged that they pressured YT into making up details during their interrogation, such as that she saw 2 guns and heard 2 shots. The plaintiffs also alleged that the defendants knew these details to be false because YT could not have seen the murder from where she was standing at the time of the shot. Kincaid and Barrett allegedly wrote out a false statement that implicated the plaintiffs and coerced YT into signing the document. Kincaid and Barrett also allegedly coerced her into identifying photos of the plaintiffs. No notes or reports related to this interview have been produced. That same day, officers' defendants interviewed another student, FH, who was with YT at the time of the murder. The plaintiffs alleged that the officers' defendants concealed evidence of this interview, including information regarding where FH and YT were standing at the time of the murder, and that FH did not identify the plaintiffs in the photo array. Again, no notes or reports for this interview have been produced. After these interviews with YT and FH, the officers' defendants decided to re-interview Duckett's friends, this time picking up all 3 students, EC, RB, and JC, and bringing them to meet with Homicide Unit. On November 23, 1983, the officers' defendants allegedly threatened and intimidated the students, accusing them of lying about what they knew about Duckett's murder and supplying them with officers' own version of the facts. Plaintiffs alleged that the officers' defendants used suggestive tactics with photo arrays and encouraged the witnesses to select photos of the plaintiffs while encouraging them from selecting photos of the individuals. Specifically, plaintiffs alleged that Kincaid and Joyce suggested and or fabricated a false statement for EC, telling him that they knew from the statements of YT that the plaintiffs had committed the crime. Under intense pressure, EC ultimately stated that the plaintiffs killed Duckett and selected them in a photo array. Kincaid and another detective then physically threatened RB, told him that another witness had already identified the plaintiffs, and coerced him into falsely stating the plaintiffs had committed the crime and identifying the 3 teens in the photo array. Finally, Kincaid and another detective also coerced JC, getting him to state that the plaintiffs murdered Duckett and to select the individuals from a photo array. Again, no notes or records from these November 23rd interrogations have been produced. Overall, the plaintiffs alleged that the officers' defendants had reason to know that the statements of YT and Duckett's friends, EC, RB, and JC were false. According to the plaintiffs, the students' statements contradicted their prior statements in which they reported that they saw one individual approach the victim and that the plaintiffs were not involved. Additionally, Chestnut, who the officers' defendants claimed to be the shooter, did not match the description the reporting officer collected on the day of the murder. Witnesses told the officers that the shooter was between 5'5" and 5'6", and Chestnut is 5'11". There was no physical evidence implicating the 3 plaintiffs in the shooting, no fingerprints, DNA, or other physical proof of any kind which suggested the plaintiffs were involved in the murder. There was simply the allegedly false statements from the youth witnesses. Meanwhile, the officers' defendants had information from other sources related to the potential involvement of John Doe. Solely on the basis of the allegedly fabricated witness statements and the identification, the officers' defendants obtained arrest warrants for the search of Chester's home, as well for the arrest of Chester, Stewart, and Walker. According to the plaintiffs, the applications of those warrants did not contain any information regarding John Doe. Discloses that the 4 students witnesses had previously failed to identify the plaintiffs as being involved in the crime, nor that the officers coerced the witnesses to providing their statements. Between 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. on November 24, 1983, Kincaid and Joyce arrested the 3 plaintiffs, and each were transported to the Western District and held overnight. While BPD officers were searching Chestnut's bedroom, the officers seized the Georgetown starter jacket like the one Duckett was wearing at the time of the murder. According to the plaintiff, Chestnut's mother showed the officers a receipt for the jacket and asserted that she had purchased it for Chestnut sometime earlier. A lab report dated November 29, 1983 noted that the BPD chemistry section had examined the jacket and found that it exhibited no signs of damage and no blood, hairs, or fibers were found on the item. The plaintiffs alleged that despite this exonerating physical evidence, the officers' defendants presented the Baltimore City State's Attorney with false and incomplete information to secure indictments. The State's Attorney's office charged the 3 plaintiffs as adults with first-degree murder, armed robbery, and illegal use of a weapon. The plaintiffs alleged that the officers' defendants intimidated and coached the minor witnesses, EC, RB, JC, and YT, to testify at trial. The fabricated theory of the murder was that Watkins held down Duckett, Stewart pulled at Duckett's jacket, and Chestnut fired the gun. This version of events was completely contradictory to the 4 youth witnesses' earlier statements given immediately following the murder, in which they asserted that a single individual approached and shot Duckett. Yet all 4 witnesses eventually corroborated the officers' theory of the case involving multiple perpetrators. The plaintiffs point to this striking change in testimony among all 4 witnesses as the evidence the officers' coercion. The plaintiffs also alleged that the officers' defendants attempted to coerce CD, who had been with the 3 plaintiffs at Harlem Park the day of the murder, into making false statements implicating the 3 individuals. The plaintiffs state that CD was brought in for questioning, and officers' defendants tried to get him to sign a statement, but he refused. Meanwhile, the officers' defendants allegedly failed to investigate the substance of the 4 minor witnesses' initial statements regarding the existence of a single shooter, as well as calls from at least 2 individuals who allegedly reported to the police that John Doe was the true shooter. John Doe was reportedly 5'7", and not only had he been seen throwing a gun and running from the school, as mentioned above, but the caller reported that he had been bragging in public on the night of the murder that he had shot Duckett and wearing the stolen Georgetown jacket. According to the plaintiffs, no notes related to John Doe were produced to plaintiffs, the defense counsel, before or during the trial. The plaintiffs alleged that they were convicted on a case built entirely on the statements of the 4 youth witnesses. The Circuit Court for Baltimore City sentenced Chestnut, Stewart, and Watkins to life in prison on the murder convictions. 20 years.
Navan, the #1 rated business travel platform, lets your team book work travel in one place. Flights, hotels, cars,
years on the other charges. The Maryland Court of Special Appeals upheld their convictions on direct appeal, but the plaintiffs continued to challenge their convictions in various post-conviction proceedings. More than 30 years later, Chestnut received documents in response to a public records request and discovered police reports, including investigative notes regarding John Doe, which had not been disclosed to defense counsel before trial. Chestnut then wrote to Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office asking that his case and those of Stewart and Watkins be reinvestigated. That office ultimately joined Chestnut, Stewart, and Watkins in filing a joint petition for a writ of actual innocence and argued in support of the petition in front of Judge Peters for the Circuit Court for Baltimore City. On November 25, 2019, the Circuit Court of Baltimore City held a hearing, granting the petition and vacating the convictions of the plaintiffs after 36 years of imprisonment. The state dismissed all charges against them. Now, fabricated evidence. Now, don't ask me how they could coerce witnesses. Now you know.
Dad, I lost everything, right? And the ones that I come home to is no connection. Much as I want that connection, I can't find that connection with them. The state done that. They done that to us.
If you could talk to the police officers, or you could talk to the judge, you could talk to the prosecutor, what would you say to them right now?
Why? Why us? Why anybody? Why would you do that to anybody? Especially kids.
But these 3 teenage boys had to quickly become men as they were paraded in front of cameras while in police custody and for the trial that wrongly jailed them for 36 years. Again and again and again, they maintained their innocence through the years, leaning on one another to stay encouraged. I remember
had them boys locked up for 36 years, man. Ask me what the fuck they do. The fuck? Shit dirty, man. It's a dirty. I need to stop praising it, man. It's a dirty system, yo. Now let's get back, since we all on the same page now. So do everybody understand how can they be railroaded? Are we all on one accord now? So do we all understand that just because all the witnesses said he was the aggressor, that don't actually mean that he was the aggressor? Do everybody get that now? Or we still lost? Because 1,000 more cases just like this. I take them witnesses' word with a grain of salt. Simply because, how can you say the person who got approached instigated? Like, come on, like we adults. This shit be pissing me off with some people. Yo, we are fucking adults. How can the person who got approached be the aggressor and not the person that approached them? Like, in what instance does that happen? Come on, man, cut the crap, man. It's not what I want to listen to. Jeff. Here we go. Hit that like button, y'all.
My son and
stabbed through the heart with a piercing stab that not only punctured his heart, but was so brutal, so vicious, it went all the way into Austin's bone in his chest.
These people are a problem. Like, why are they making the same? Like, yo, this was a kid, 130, 40 pounds. So brutal, so vicious. Yo, they making it seem like he wanted to kill him, yo. Like, this shit is crazy, man. Yo, I never seen a person. Like, where I'm from, yo, when you try to kill somebody, you stab them or shoot them multiple times. Like, I thought that was, what it was. Yo, you don't stab a person one time with intent to kill. Normally, if a person gets stabbed one time, the intent is to get away. You You don't want to kill him. You just want him off you, away from you. But with Austin Metcalf, they making it seem like, yo, his intent was to murder. Yeah, I know, man. I done seen situations motherfucker got stabbed multiple times, 10, 15 times, 20 times. That's intent to murder. Stabbing a person one time, that shows fear to me. But since everybody over here race baiting, and people are easily fooled and don't use their own logic and common sense, then what she said makes sense to some people. And we still haven't seen the knife. They still haven't released the video. And I think we got enough sense, at least black people, got enough sense to know that if this video depicted what they said, if this video would kill all the rumors, all the rumors and all the doubt, they would have been released it. They'd have released it before a trial. But they haven't released it. They haven't shown us the knife. They haven't shown us nothing. They even closed the courtroom down.
There was no way he could survive, even though his twin brother tried and tried there in the rain under that tent to save Austin's life. On that body cam, you can hear the twin screaming, praying, screaming all at once, trying to save his brother's life. And
let me say this, because I gotta say this every live. What Karmelo Anthony did was not self-defense. Based off the testimony, unless the video shows us something different than what was testified to, because I told y'all the testimony is questionable. But based off the testimony and the lack of defense to the testimony, I ain't got no choice but to say it wasn't justified. It wasn't self-defense. But it wasn't first-degree murder either. That has been my stance since the trial, and that remains my stance. I'm not one of them ones that say it was self-defense, he need to be free. No, what I'm saying is he got overcharged and over-sentenced. Yeah, they always pulling the same trick out of the bag.
Somehow you're getting death threats. Explain.
I wish I had an explanation for it.
What? Now he a victim too? So everybody's just victims, y'all. Everybody's a victim in this case. Austin a victim, Karmelo a victim. Now he's a victim. Yo, you just did a whole live with racist rants all through it. Watermelon felon, your people this, and black fatigue. Like, what the fuck is, like, what is he talking about, y'all? He probably was. Get the fuck out of here.
I really don't understand. I mean, I understand people can be upset about the verdict and it didn't go the way they wanted to, but
yo, it wasn't the verdict. Not, at least not for me. Like, some of these other people are just race baiters. They get a kick out of this. But me evaluating the case, looking at it fair, evenly, it wasn't about just the verdict. It was the way the trial was conducted that got people upset. I just showed y'all a similar type of situation where these people will railroad you if you black. Like, just completely go over your rights, coerce witnesses, get them on the stand, have them testify to the lie, and then sentence you to fucking life in prison. That's the issue, man. Us as black people know, a lot of us as black people know that this is how this system operates when you black. So when you got a situation like this where they close the courtroom down, they bullying the black bloggers that was there to report it evenly, or at least give Karmelo's side point of view, and they getting bullied to try to force them out, then you know the defense didn't object to nothing. You hear some of the questions asked and answered without no objection. Yo, I told y'all, the prosecution asked a black witness, told a black witness, in order to try to make this thing like Austin wasn't racist. He liked black kids just as well as white kids. The prosecution told the witness, did you know that your mother was Austin's pediatrician? No objection to that. That's an easy objection. Relevance. No objection. Just let them say it. Let them answer it. That was the issue, man. It ain't about him just being found guilty, yo. It was the fact that, this trial it wasn't fair. And I'm not even talking about the jury of the peers. I ain't even talking about that shit. This trial, can't hear me. This trial wasn't fair. Yeah, you can, y'all. This trial wasn't fair way before it got to a jury. You can hear me, Trey. Must be something wrong with you. What's it called?
It was a fair trial, and now they're claiming it's not. And Avenue, they hope and pray that they could get an appeal. I understand. I really don't. I think the judge did a good job of keeping everything under control and in order, and all procedures were followed correctly.
For one, they set the family right in front of the jury. These guys look like thugs too, gangsters. For one, they set the family right in front of the jury. Giving them no warning that this can't be allowed into the courtroom. It's a lot went on in that trial that wasn't fair. Wasn't fair. That's what I'm upset about.
So, they're entitled to an appeal. I honestly don't think it will be granted, but that's the way the system works. And the system also works by being convicted of murder also. So
that's important, Mr. Metcalf.
I'm sorry,
You
go ahead.
stated convicted of murder. He was not convicted of manslaughter. He was not convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The jury knew about those possibilities. He was convicted in first-degree murder. And I want to clarify something that we have heard over and over and over, that this was an all-white jury. It was not. That is correct. A lie. There were Asian jurors. There were, I believe, this off the top of my head, 3 Hispanic jurors.
No, that's all white. White. It's white, yo. It's all white jury, man. It's all white jury. If it wasn't a black, even if it had an African on there, it'd have been an all white jury. If there wasn't black Americans, then it's an all white jury, yo. Simple and plain. But like I told y'all, I don't even blame the jury for their verdict. I can't, I cannot blame the jury for their verdict. based off the evidence that they heard and the fact that it wasn't no rebuttal. It wasn't no rebuttal. It wasn't no alternative narratives. It wasn't no explanation for the knife. It wasn't like, it just wasn't. The fuck, like, the trial, the defense just did terrible, intentionally. Like, he was better off with a public defender. Yo, I could have represented Karmelo Anthony better than him. And I mean that shit. Like, I ain't joking or nothing. I could have represented Karmelo Anthony better than Mike Howard. Straight up. They could have gave me that 75. I might have did it for 50. I probably got him a lesser included. And I ain't even joking. I'm dead serious.
There were jurors that were from Middle East descent.
Yes.
I mean, those are not white jurors. This jury pool, and I'm referring to the Pettit jury, not the pool of 200 that you bring in to strike the jury. The Pettit jury is the 12 jurors and the alternates. In the Pettit jury, there were Hispanics, Asians, and people of Middle Eastern descent. So why is it just so convenient for people to say it was an all-white jury, it wasn't fair? That is not true.
See, y'all, but see this, and this is what I told y'all they was going to do. This is why I said we need to take the conversation away from the all-white jury shit. That's why I don't trust the people that keep pushing that. Like the mainstream media that keep, yo, fuck that. Fuck that shit. The defense is the issue. Because listen, if we never even made the all-white jury shit an issue, right? And we focused on the defense, lack of objections, what would they say? Because it's documented it was a lack of objections. Then what would be the excuse or the justification for him getting that much time? There's too much gray area in this jury selection process. Because the jury of your peers doesn't mean you have to have a black juror on it. The ethnic background of these jurors, they're able to say it wasn't all white, even though we know that Asian is white. We know that Hispanic is white. But they're able to make that argument as to say, these guys, what are they talking about? They're complaining over nothing. But if we just focused on the defense, which was the real problem, then what would they say? Because it was a lack of objections. There was things said. See, because then they would have to focus on the testimony as well. And you know it was a closed courtroom. So the conversation would be the testimony as opposed to the jury. Y'all get what I'm saying? I just think that's a much better avenue that we should be taking as a community, as opposed to this jury shit, which is subjective. The defense and the lack thereof isn't subjective. He didn't explain the knife. Karmelo Anthony didn't testify in a self-defense case. He's the only one that can explain his reasoning for doing what he did. He didn't testify. He was told not to testify. Not that it ain't just that he didn't testify. He was advised by his defense counsel not to testify. After his defense just let people say whatever they wanted to say in a courtroom without no objection.
They need a narrative to spin. I mean, they're hanging on for dear life at the end of the rope, and they're running out of time, and they're running out of things to say, and they're desperate.
I was stunned. I don't know if you were, Mr. Metcalf, when the defense did not put the defendant on the stand, because in every self-defense case I have ever prosecuted or investigated.
Now watch what you ready to say. Watch what you ready to say. Remember what I told y'all? The reason he didn't get on, the reason he was advised not to testify is so they can say this later on. Listen to him.
You really have to hear from the defendant. You have to hear their side. Nobody can. Self-defense is when you, the defendant, are in immediate fear of serious physical, bodily harm, or death. Immediate fear that you're going to die.
I run a podcast solo. No producer, no editor.
Yeah, right.
Who else can describe your immediate fear other than you? Nobody. That said, he chose to take the Fifth Amendment. He did not testify. We can only wonder why. But, well, I've definitely put the cart before the horse. Let's start at the beginning. I want to start with where you were and what happened the day that Austin was killed.
News. And from there is where I just started to understand what I needed to do, what needed to get done, find burial plots, arrange funeral arrangements. I mean, there was just a ton of things that had to be handled. And I was pretty much numb part for them. And no one says, yes, I'm a victim. But realistically, all these other kids who saw this and have to live with it for the rest of their life, they're victims too. And the ripple effect through his friends, through our family, it affects everyone, not just my family and the Anthony family. And it's been really hard, especially being under the gag order for so long, while I just had to sit by and watch everyone trash my son and my family and spread lies and mistruths. And to this day, there's a certain part of people in the society that they can't accept the verdict. They can't accept the truth that was presented at trial. Those were the facts. They weren't opinions. They weren't some made up crap. It was presented and the jury made a decision based on the evidence. But you're right. For a defendant not to testify in a self-defense case, it raised huge questions just for me. I mean, if I was accused of something, yes, I would want to get up there and sing my song and tell him, this is exactly what happened. This is what I was thinking. And this is what I did.
Yeah. They set the whole shit up, y'all. This the first thing they came out immediately. Well, if he didn't have any, he must have had something to hide. The lawyer put them together, man. And the lawyers still haven't spoken. Still, to this day, haven't said anything. Bitch, we need answers. You got all these black activists supposed to be around this family. And nobody is putting pressure on this lawyer to, we need a press conference from you, my nigga. Because he can answer these questions. Ain't no attorney-client privilege. It's over. The case is done. Bitch, you ain't representing him no more. And the family can okay this because he was a juvenile when he caught the case. Why did you tell him not to take the stand? Why did you allow some of these questions to get asked without an objection?
For him not to even try to tell his side of the story tells me, or lets me form my own opinion about.
Well, what it tells me, Mr. Metcalf, is that he could not survive cross-examination on his story.
There we go. You see what I'm saying? There we go. That's why the lawyer told him not to take the stand. So they can create this narrative. That's how they operate. He was hiding something. He knew he was lying. He couldn't survive cross-examination. It's all the same thing. That's why he was advised not to take the stand. Because if he took the stand, they wouldn't be able to make this argument.
That his lawyers thought it would be too dangerous and too damaging to put him on the stand. That is why defendants typically don't take the stand. Because they cannot survive cross-examination or their story will unravel.
And I'm ready. I wanted to play another video. I might do that later. I didn't even go to sleep last night. He didn't have no other option. That case was so bad. That case was so slanted in the Metcalf family favor Fuck all, if I'm a good defense attorney, we losing. We losing like a bitch. We done had 15 witnesses testify that my client was the aggressor. What the fuck you mean? They ain't have nothing to lose at that point. So trying to protect him from cross-examination shouldn't even have been a thought. But y'all, I'm ready to take my ass to bed, y'all. I've been up all night. Tooth killing me. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you share the live. We're going to continue this a little bit later. We're going to go live the same format so people can come up if they want to. We can have a conversation. It's another day of Keep It G News.